And for those of you that are just joining us, I hate to be repetitive, but guess what? Welcome to Financial Fed Friday. I'm Darlene Jenkins, and that's my co-host, Dr. Rita Bailey Rowland, who is doing something else, but that's who the co-host is, everyone, you all. And we are your Financial Fed Friday team.
I'm back, y'all.
Yes, I'm back, co-host. And so the webinar, this is a webinar that we do every other Friday. Welcome everyone on Facebook. Rita is manning that.
That's what I was doing.
Shout you out, rather. So this is a webinar that we do every other Friday, and we broadcast it simultaneously live on Facebook. And what we're doing is we're pulling back the curtains so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your benefits you have there on your job, your federal benefits, but we're also giving you simultaneously live some best retirement investment options as well. So please tell your friends they can register at www.ritabrolandevents.com. Or, of course, they can go to Facebook and like us at Your AB Solutions. So
sorry, y'all.
That's okay. Hey, that's the fun of being live. And for those of you that have been with us for a while, we keep each other on our toes. So we have fun here. We give good information. And so just relax. And I want to also let you know that this presentation that we're giving, the webinar, we always present it in a very generic approach. Why? Because without individual knowledge of each of your situations out there, we can't individualize the presentation. However, if you reach out to your Financial Fed Friday team or anyone at Affordable Benefit Solutions, any information on here, we can customize it to suit your situation. That's what we're here for, to offer solutions. So please accept the information as general in context and apply it where you feel it fits your particular situation. So thank you so much for understanding that. Now, the whole purpose of the Financial Fed Friday series is just to help you understand what your benefits are, your money personality. We may have to circle back to that, Rita. Your spending habits, and that all ties into your money personality. And then just to offer support and offer solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destination. And that's what we're here for.
All right. So this is the year, you guys, remember, we came up with this theme, and we came up with it because in the beginning of the year, many of our listeners work for the government, and a lot of them were off work, and a lot of them were going through nervous about how they're going to pay their bills, because many people, they said about 60% of Americans don't have enough to go 1 or 2 pay periods without panicking or thinking that they're going to lose. And that's what happened to us. We got phone calls, Rita, I don't have enough. If I don't have a paycheck, how can I pay my bill? And so one of the things that we believe in here at AABS and your Fed Friday team is us really being in budget and in line with our finances and really putting it together. So this is our year to sacrifice. What can you sacrifice that you really don't need, so that you can make your financial future better for you? And it shows up in a lot of aspects of our financial life. Where do we sacrifice here? Where do we sacrifice here? It's not a sacrifice for a lifetime. It's a sacrifice for a period, so that your life can be better forever.
Absolutely. Now, this month, you all, is March, and it is March Money Madness. And so today what we're talking about is saving for retirement and college at the same time, which is where I find myself, and many of you out there may be in the same situation. So what do? Because guess what? When you only have $1, you have to decide, what are you going to do with it? Are we going to save for college, or are we going to save for retirement? We're sort of sandwiched in the middle. What should we do? And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So first, let's look at saving for college. What should we do? There are different types of savings vehicles for college. But one thing I want to really impress upon everyone, if you have small children, if you have middle school children, it's never too late to start, but starting is the key. And the earlier you start, the better it will be for you, and you won't feel the crunch at the end, or if some sort of financial emergency or life event happens to you, you won't, be stuck at the end not having enough money. Okay, so what are the different type of savings vehicles that you can use for saving for college? One is the 529 plan. Everyone has at least heard of, I hope anyway, the 529 plans. So these are plans that are offered. You can use them for your, that are offered through a financial institution. They have two types of 529 plans. They have the savings plan, which is the most popular, but then they also have the prepaid tuition plan that you get through the state. Now, with the 529 plans, it also varies by state how much you can contribute each year and write off on your state taxes. Okay, if you contribute to a 529 plan, that's the tax advantage. You will get a tax treatment is deducted from your income on the state side. Now, they do have a maximum limit that you can contribute because these are investment accounts. So again, they may fluctuate. You can put them in a variety of different vehicles at the financial institution. It's going to be up to you. So, but the maximum amount that you can have in there for your beneficiary, which is your child, is $325,000. You cannot save more than what the expected future college costs will be. So you can't just, put in $500,000, and you have to have a plan for each child. Now you can switch the plan. So if child one decides, I'm not going to college, I'm going to do something else, you can go ahead and switch it to the next child. But the good thing about the 529 plans and everything that I'm going to be going over here with you is that you can also spend it on tuition. With the 529 plans, you can spend it on tuition for school K through 12, but you're only allowed up to $10,000 for the tuition if it's K through 12. But all of the other money you can spend for college and college expenses. Okay. So
Dr. Darlene, is that $10,000 per child?
That is $10,000 per child, and each child has to have their own account. So you can spend it there in K through 12. K through 12.
But you just said, in assuming a child doesn't go to college, and I got some kids that are younger in private school, if that child who I had planned to go didn't go, I couldn't use it on those. So what I got to do, transfer it to their names or something?
No, you don't. That's the thing, everyone. With the 529 plan, the parent is the owner.
Got you.
The parent is the owner, and the parent is the one getting the state tax deduction.
Okay.
So if your child decides, and because you are getting, a tax write-off, if you don't use it for college expenses or K through 12 expenses, the cap is only on K through 12 expenses. That's the only cap with the $10,000. College expenses, you can spend up to whatever is in there. So, but if you don't spend it on college expenses, then you are going to have to pay taxes on it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Now, the other type of account is the Coverdell savings account, the Coverdell education account. Now, these accounts, again, the difference between the 529 and the Coverdell is that the annual amount that you can put into the Coverdell is only $2,000 per year that you're going to get to write off. So that's the tax advantage on your state side, okay? But you can do a lot of gifting with the Coverdell account, and that's a lot to get into, but you can actually, gift up to $14,000. And if you want to know more about that, if you have, children, if you want to pass your wealth on now to try to mitigate some of those future taxes that you will have to pay, then this would be a great way to do it. And please contact Rita and I, and we can tell you, get in more detail about the gifting. I want to go back real quick to the 529. If you live in DC, then the max you can put in and have the state deduction is $4,000. $8,000 if you're married filing jointly. In Maryland, it is $2,500, $5,000 for a couple. Okay, now in both the Coverdell education savings and the 529, those are owned by the parents. Okay, but a custodial account, that's actually in the child's name. And each of these, when you think about maybe doing a custodial account, a lot of the tax consequences, you know, Rita and I, we have been talking about taxes as well, how this is going to be taxed. So in the custodial account, the assets, whether it's a mutual fund, the money, however, because these are all investment accounts, is actually in the child's name, okay? So it's taxed according to the kitty tax. So anything, any of the earnings or the capital gains, the interest, once it reaches $1,200 in earnings interest, then anything over that, the child has to pay taxes on it, okay? And they pay it at a higher rate over that $1,200 amount than the parents do. That's why you want to be careful about going with a custodial account. You really want to make sure you speak with a tax professional. Then, of course, you have the U.S. savings bond, okay? The Series E or the Series I, you can get them anywhere from $50 to $10,000. And I said maybe you can get a tax advantage because it goes, again, based on the capital gains and your income tax bracket. So we can sit down with you one-on-one on how the bonds are taxed. So you could escape, you know, you could bypass having to pay taxes on it. Now, this is a hidden secret right here, you all, the Roth IRA. So there are no early withdrawal penalties because everyone knows a Roth is tax deferred as well. But what you don't know is if that you take money out of your Roth account to use for your children's college expenses and you're younger than 59 and a half, you will not have to pay that early withdrawal penalty, but it has to be for your child's penalties. And of course, with the Roth IRA, anything that you put in that you contribute, not the interest that you've earned, you can actually take that back out penalty free because you've already paid the taxes on it. So by doing that and understanding how to, you know, take the money out of your Roth correctly, then you will have a tax advantage as well.
All righty. Can everybody hear us? Robert said that he couldn't hear. It could be his internet connection. So we take a break. If one or two of you guys could just text us in the chat box to let us know that you can hear. We want to make sure everything is good on that end. And while we're doing that quick break, that quick chat break, we want to say a happy birthday to our girl, our partner who holds us down so many times on Facebook, Javon Walker. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We'll sing later. We'll sing later.
And that's Miss Javon Jackson.
Yeah, Javon Jackson. Miss Jackson. Not if I'm okay. All right, Janet. Okay, Janet. All right, everybody can. So Robert, you're going to have to go to somewhere else. So
really, college savings is a retirement problem. Why? Because you have to, if you don't start saving early, you have to determine where you're going to put your money. You know, am I going to put it towards my child's education? Or am I going to put it towards me, the working person, so that one day I can walk out of the door?
All right. So let's talk about that, Darlene. I don't know. I don't even have any kids, but all of a sudden I got a real hot flash when you start talking about change between college or retirement. Maybe I'm thinking for you, and I'm thinking of my godchild, like, where'd my fan go? College versus retirement. And I think what's so important, Darlene, is for people to really know what are your financial needs for retirement and for college. So the question you got to ask yourself, how many years do you have till you reach retirement? Do your job have a pension? So if you work for the government, you're one of the few individuals left in the world that still have a pension. And do your job have a 401k, a thrift saving plan, a 403b? Are you participating in some outside plans for yourself in terms of retirement? Do you qualify for Social Security? What is the number for you at full age of 62? Many people are about to go to retire right around the time that their child is going to school or just getting out of school. So can you afford to give up all this money during retirement? My dad passed away in December the 26th, 2008. And about 3 months later, I moved in to help him when he was sick. He died before I stayed there with my stepmom for a minute. And she had a bill for college in his name. And I'm like, why are you still paying for a bill for my dad? And she was like, well, he was paying for Rashawn to college. And I'm like, you don't have to pay that. But why was he even paying for it with his low retirement check? Why was he paying for her for college? Because he wanted her to not have any debt. He sacrificed that little check that he had, Darlene, and he was paying like almost $300 a month for her college education in retirement. And so you got to ask yourself, what do you have? What standard of living do you want in retirement? And how many years do you have left? Are you married? What do your spouse expect to receive? You got to add up all of your sources of income, look at your needs to determine what can you afford to give. In terms of college, what school is your child going to? Are they going to a private school? Are they going to Ivy League school? Maybe it was your dream because you went to Harvard or Yale or George Washington University, and it's your dream to send your child there. But if you haven't prepared, maybe you want to send them to PG or Montgomery or some community college Nova for 2 years, get the basic classes, English, Math 101 out the way, and then use that to go towards school. Can your child work? So you just need to look at have you started planning? Darlene just told you about some ways to start saving for your kids. And so it's very important to know that. And you got to figure out what can you afford per month. I know, here come that B word again, Darlene, that budget. So what is your budget for your retirement, for your kids, for school, for everything? A budget dictates everything in your life. And there needs to be, if you have children and you want to send them to school, part of your budget needs to have college planning. Doesn't mean you can't go out and eat out every day for lunch. Doesn't mean you can't buy clothes. Maybe your kids' education, you've been spending it on things that you really don't need. But what's very important to know, that retirement always takes priority over what? Paying for your kids for college. Because your kids can get a loan, but there's no retirement loan. They don't exist. There's not a loan you can get for retirement and pay them back. Right. But there is a loan your kids can get for college and let them pay it back. But while you have a proactive choice to do something different, start now, even if it's just a little bit. And one of the questions many want to know, is it possible to save for retirement and a child's college education at the same time? And yes, it is.
And also another thing, real quick, the reason you want to prioritize your retirement over your children's, and I know this is hard as a parent, I'm in this situation right now. My girl is applying to different colleges. We're working on scholarships. We're doing a bunch of things. And I just came out of really, if I'm being transparent, a financial crisis due to health issues that helping to take care of my mom. And now I'm on the other side and looking at where we're going to get all of this money from for school for my daughter. But guess what? She has a lot of time. She has time. And that's why now prioritizing for my retirement, putting money away for me, that is the priority because I have a shorter window than she has. We can assist where we can, but we don't have that many more working years. They're 18, 21, 19, 15, whatever their age is, they have another 40 years ahead of them. I don't want to work in another 40 years. I'll be well into my 90s.
That won't be cute. That won't be cute.
No.
Be like, but hey, there's some people still working because they have to. Maybe not 90, but I know there are people in their late 70s and maybe they're still having to work. So time plus money equals saving. So here's an example. So what if you wanted to reach $50,000 for your child for school, or $100,000? What's possible? $144 a month at 5% interest. You can get that for 18 years. You just had a baby. It's $50,000 saved. It doesn't sound like a lot, 144, but the beauty of time, sometimes when you have time on your side, you don't need to have a lot of money. It's when you don't have time on your side, you now got to say, like me, saving for retirement, where I could have been saving when I was in my 20s and my 30s, $50, $75 a pay period. Now I got to say $700, $800 a month, $800,000, because if we didn't do it when we were young, we now got to make up this shorter period of time. $266 a month at 6%, 18 years is $100,000. So you have the opportunity. Maybe if you're doing 12% of your thrift saving, and you're in your 30s and 40s, and you got young kids, maybe cut that in half or cut it in a third. Give the kids 3-4%. You take the other 7-8% and let you start to do something for them. And maybe you can talk to us because I do like 529 plans. But have you guys have any kids that decided not to go to school after you thought they were going to college, or they went there 1 year and they didn't like it? So talk to us so we can talk about, we may talk about that next week. What other plans can you do that you can still save for your kids for school, but if they change their mind or they drop out, you haven't just wasted your money. And if you only got one child, who wants to have a 529? You got one child to go to school, that child changed their mind. Now I have a client now, she's 62, she's in college because, darling, she don't want to lose her 529 money.
Right.
So there are other ways as well, so that you don't feel pigeonholed into a way that leaves you like your child have to go to school. Look at some plans, and maybe your child is an entrepreneur. Maybe your child came up with an invention in high school. We've seen that kids come up, and you would like to take that money and invest in them so that they can carry on their business. So just know, though, saving time plus some money equals some savings for your kids for college. And these rates are just for example only. They don't, is no particular investment I'm talking about. I just use what the interest would do for you. If you find a vehicle that pays those interests, that amount per month, those time periods will create that flow of cash flow.
Absolutely.
And so your choice is yours. Which comes first, saving for retirement or saving for college? Or you could do both. You could do both, and we just talked about, but maybe you don't have it. Maybe, you know, Rita, I just don't have it. What do you do?
Save for yourself.
So here's where the word comes from, sacrifice. Here we go back to that word sacrifice. So if you can do both, save for retirement and prepare for your child's education, what are the options? You know, one of the things you could do is defer your retirement. I have some clients who are just adamant about paying for their kids for school, and that's just a priority for them to pay for their kids for school. Well, then you're going to maybe have to sacrifice and defer your retirement, where you were going to retire at 57 or 58. You now have to wait maybe till you're 60, 62 to get your child through school so you can have enough money. The other thing is that I have a friend, our other best friend, she got student loans for her daughter, but she started paying the student loans all the 4 years while her daughter was in school. She was paying the loans down. So and because they wasn't charging interest, she was able to get it down a lump sum that by the time her daughter finished school, the loans were down to maybe like 17 grand, Jenkins. It wasn't a lot. So you can think of that. Maybe you can work part-time while you're right now. So if you're trying to save for your kid for school and it's too late, maybe you want to get a part-time job so you can use that money to start to save for your kid for school. Again, your child may have to go to a community school for the first 2 years. That can cut your costs down tremendously. And then their last 2 years, send them to the school that they want to graduate from. So if they live here in the DMV area, go to Prince George's Community College. I heard that school has changed a lot from when we were younger, that they have some really good programs, and then let them transfer to the Howards or the Bowie States or the Maryland University or wherever they want to go. But that can help keep your costs down. And you got to let your child know they just going to have to expect to contribute to their education. And sometimes it's not that we were trifling and we just didn't save. Sometimes you just don't have enough to feed them, clothe them, pay the bills, pay the rent, save something for yourself, pay the car note. Maybe you had nothing. So they're going to have to just do something for themselves and help save for their kids. And guess what? Don't feel guilty about it. And I will tell you this. Go to the college that your child, go to the admissions office. So when I was in college, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I filled out my paperwork for financial aid because we were poor. We didn't have any money. I went to George Washington University, and even though my education was free because my dad cleaned up, he was a what you call it, darling, housekeeper, the janitor, so that I could go to school free. He was willing to clean toilets, but we were so poor, I still could get a Pell Grant. But my dad got married while I was in college, and he has now a joint tax return with his new wife. I gave them all the paperwork, and they gave me a Pell Grant because based on my financial aid, I needed more money. Well, they looked at the tax return later and determined that I didn't qualify for it. I'm like, well, my stepmother don't take care of me. And they was like, well, if she buy food in the house and you eat the food, then she taking care of you. So they asked for the money back. Well, we ain't had no money. I'd already spent that money. So So what I decided to do, they said, well, we want you to come into the office. We want you to apply for all of these scholarships. So they wanted their money back so bad. They were willing, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure I turn on my phone. They were willing to let me apply for all these scholarships that they knew about. They hadn't told anybody about them before, but now I owe them money. They want me to apply for all of these scholarships. I applied for all these scholarships and I got a grant. But the day before I got the grant was approved, the dean took my loan and wiped it as bad debt because she said it was their fault, not my fault. But I got a stipend every month, Darlene, for 1 year in the 80s for $357 a month. Every single month, that scholarship gave me a check. So what I also say, if there's a choice, you guys need to go to the financial aid and ask them for every freaking scholarship that they have. There's a lot of money out here, but because we don't know, we don't ask. So make sure you ask, and just whatever you do, it's something out there. Darlene, I tell you, I just want y'all to get wherever y'all are, just clap. And that may be clapping for some other parents on here, clap. This young lady has been doing some serious work trying to help her daughter get school. So she's going to talk about that next week, Darlene. You're going to give them some of the stuff that you've done. She has phenomenal just resources and things that Jordan has been able to do because she is really working hard. I really want her to do that as another business, y'all. So y'all because she really has done a lot of work to understand this education thing. So look at all of your options, and but it's possible to do both. But if there's something you have to do, you may have to sacrifice something so that you can to accomplish everything. And just think about all the creative ways. You know, your child may have to work in the dorm, like, you know, for your dorm, I think there's a way you can be the dorm something, and they can work in the dorm to take care of the to monitor it so they can housing is free. So just think of every single thing. Do your homework. Sit down, turn off the TV, and start to prepare for your retirement and your child's education. What do you need to know? That is your responsibility to find it out. Our job is to give you information. Now, what you learned today, I hope you was taking some copious notes with your notebook so that you can go back and study and read and figure out. And sometimes you guys don't have kids, or your kids are grown, but you got grandkids. And your kids are going to be asking you for money because they think grandma got all this retirement money, or granddad's prepared. So they're coming to you. You need to know this so you can help your grandkids as well.
Absolutely. And aunties, and that's why we're bringing this, whether you have children or not. We are a village. And so you have family members, especially if you don't have children. You've been helping out throughout the years. And when those children go to college, it's not just them going, we're all going. Like when Jordan graduates from high school, Rita, thank you so much, but I didn't get her there alone. I had a cohort of friends and family, the school, who helped me get her there. And she had to do the work. So we'll get more into that next week, though, different things you can do. So what's going to be up next? College sticker shock. And I'm going to share some ideas to help lower those college costs, so you can help keep more of the money in your pocket, auntie, uncles, all of your family members, the village, and get those children to college without sacrificing your retirement. So
yes, but one thing I will say is that if you do have a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, even if it's just a little cousin, and you know their parents, like one thing, my niece went to school in New York. She went to FMI or FIM or something like that, FIT something. But every month I sent her money through her account with Navy. Every single month. It wasn't a lot. I sent her like $50. But for her, when that $50 came, it meant that she had some money in her pocket to go out to eat with her friends, or just to have something, because New York is expensive. So $50 probably didn't last but a day on the train. But at least one day it was covered. So when you think about it, you know, it takes all of us to get to the next level. My concern is that the kids that are in college, Jordan, it's important for her to get this education, to learn what she can learn, to be all she's going to be, because they're going to be taking care of us. So it is really, for me, I'm thinking about, I need to pour into my nieces and nephews, into all those kids that I know. They're going to be taking care of us. So we can't just leave them aside, or don't think that they're not important, or their education, just let their parents deal with it. Well, guess what? Them same kids are going to be running the country when we're retired, and we're going to need them to be the best that they can be, so that we can be the best we can be in retirement. Just so you know. So let's celebrate some ladies. To all the men on the phone and online, thank you guys for joining. But this is the International Women's Day. We got Battles for Better. I don't know if they're, let me see. Yeah, look at that. Look at that right there. Yeah, we got
mine down, Rita.
We got some battles for what's better for 2019. For women, it's our time. It's always been our time, but it seems like the world knows it now. So let's do what you do. Hey, if you got a business in mind, if you're on your job and you up for a promotion, study your job. Study how do you interview? How do you get promotion? Just don't walk in the door because you think you're good and you do good work. Figure out what to do. They were talking about TV. How when you go, should you sit up straighter? What should you do? Look them in the eye. Take time to know how do we become better, because it's our time, but they're not going to just give it to us. But we need to continue to fight for equal pay. The good thing about me and Darlene's job is that they can't pay us less than they can pay the next one because of our type of business. But we get treated different when we go to conferences. A certain time, we get treated different because you're women. But for you guys who work a job, most of you, if you're a lady, you're getting paid less than the man who's doing the exact same thing. So it's still not equal. We still have a lot of work to do. So even though you may make a lot of money and you're okay with your salary, think about all the women who not. And so it's not about us. We're not here for us. We're always here for each other. So let's just celebrate today. You see a woman, she doing her thing, just give her the pound. Yes, it's time. And just have some fun with the women. Hey, we lovely people.
Yes.
It's two women here. We say me and Darlene, we two women celebrating today. Hey, we almost done with another episode of Fan Friday. That's a big deal for us.
Exactly. So just real quick, we're going to shout out some of the, well, we already did that. In case I missed somebody, I don't want to alienate any of our wonderful Financial Fair Friday listeners, and the ladies always show up on Financial Fair Friday. So as we always say, planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it right now. Contact us. We have gone over a lot of information today. So what's going to be right for you? It depends. Everyone's situation is different. And that's why we said at the beginning, we can't individualize this presentation. But if you reach out to your Financial Fed Friday team, then we can, or any of our associates at Affordable Benefit Solutions, we can craft something specifically for your situation. So contact us today so that we can map out your strategy to help you meet your financial destination. How can we help? You said, well, if I contact you, what's going to be going on? We help with life insurance planning, questions to help you imagine your life in retirement, also budgeting, that B word that Rita speaks about. This is the big B. It's very important. Because
we're going to have some groups coming up, so stay tuned. We're going to do some small groups. We're going to have some budget parties and financial planning parties, and we're going to do you in small groups, and we're going to meet every month, and you're going to have homework. The whole goal for this is just to get you to your financial destination. And we're going to hold a few people hand. We're going to do a few at a time so we can help. So if you're really serious about it, send us an email, call us on the phone, say, include me in this. We're going to start our first one probably next month. And so stay tuned for more information about that.
Right. We're going to email. Everyone is going to receive an email, and you just reply back and let us know so you can join in on the budget party. Also, account management. We can help with your IRA rollovers, Roth conversions, putting together an income plan so that you can withdraw your money down correctly and not run out of money. Also, portfolio management, investments, financial products, taking into tax consideration for how you take your money. We do all of that. Guess what? We are a full service financial solutions firm. We help in every aspect, whether it's retirement planning. We have tax-free retirement concepts, being your own banker for our younger watchers out there. Rollovers, you're retiring, how to put together that financial income plan. All of your life, right now, you've been focusing on accumulation. But now for many of you, you're moving into the distribution phase and there is no plan. You can't keep the same accumulation plan moving into your distribution plan. There are some tweaks that need to be made. Go ahead, Rita.
I was going to say too, it's important for you guys to sit down with us because I have clients who's using the tax-free retirement concept for their college education. So they're saving for their retirement and their child's education with one tax-free vehicle. So I have a client who dumped in some money and now he's saving it for about, I think he did, the daughter was 5 when he dumped it in at 18, 19. So we have him withdrawn for 4 years. He's going to pay his same money back and use the exact same money for retirement. So strategy is everything. So reach out to us. You know, we talked about Javon has a book about it, but so that strategy can be used for retirement, for education, for buying a car, for buying a home, just running your business is a great way to create money for tax-free.
And we're going to get more into that next week as well. So you want to make sure you come on back because like we said, although we're talking about college, that one particular vehicle that Rita is going to get more into next week can be applied across the board, just as she just said. We also do estate planning how to most tax efficiently transfer your assets. I've already spoke on that. I mean, had my mom having that living trust took all of the worry, all of the stress off of me. You know, I was already in a state, but having that, it was so smooth. I could not believe it. And we'll get more into estate planning later in the year. Insurance services. Hey, love yourself. We offer the life insurance, disability, all aspects, cancer, long-term care, your retirement protection for your income when you get old in retirement. We're all, you know, anyway, long-term care coverage. Also, credit and debt elimination. We're going to be having some credit workshops as well, right, Rita?
Absolutely.
We'll work on all of that. We'll all go through that. And are we going to incorporate that into the budget parties?
Absolutely. It's all going to be one.
Okay, so we'll do that. So as I said, we are full service. Your Financial Fed Friday team, your Affordable Benefit Solutions team, we are here to help you reach your financial destination. So again, that's the end for us today. Join us again in 2 weeks for another installment of Financial Fed Friday. And when you come back, don't come alone. Bring someone with you. Bring not 1, not 2, but 3 people with you. Guess what? Because the more people you inform, that's the less people that are at work asking you for what? Some of your savings. So you want to spread the word to all of your friends and family. They can register at www.RitaB, as in Bailey, Roland, ROLAND, events.com. And of course, they can like us on Facebook at Your AB Solutions. So until next week, not next week, and 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks. We will see you then on the broadcast. If anyone has any questions, please type them in the questions or chat box. We love to hear your feedback. If there are topics that you would like for us to cover, please also email us at FFF, as in Financial Fed Friday, at yourabsolutionsinc.com.
And make sure if you want to be a part of the credit and debt budgeting team, just send us an email to that same email address, say include me in. So we'll be in contact with you like really soon. So we're putting it all together now. And our whole goal is just to help you put more money back in your pocket, save more for your future, and improve your credit and reduce your debt. So it's about being financially fit for your life.
Mm-hmm. Being physically fit, you all. Rita, are there any questions on Facebook?
There are no questions. I guess we just did a good job, Dolly. I'm assuming we did a good job. But hello to Dr. Lisa Thompson, Robert, Javon, and to all those watching on Facebook, and to all of our call-in listeners. We don't know who you are, but thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you got something out of this. Send us an email every now and then. Just say, you know, I got something from that, just so we know that we're doing okay. We don't know. You guys are really good, but you don't always talk a lot. We don't.
No, they don't, Rita. Yeah, we thought this would be a more interactive venue. But hi, Sheridan. I spoke you up. I asked about you, and I see that you're on. Hey. So that's it, you all. Oh, wait a minute. We had someone.
That was Sheridan saying, hey now.
Oh, okay. Yes, so thank you all.
Thanks,
We
Crystal.
appreciate you. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal said it's a lot of information. So, all right, you all have a great weekend. Be careful this afternoon. We are expecting a little inclement weather. They said rain mixed with some snow. So please be careful. And until the 22nd of March, you all take care. And we'll see you back here at 10 a.m. on the broadcast and live on Facebook. Take care, everyone.
Yes, have a great one. Bye-bye.